As England prepare to take on Mexico in the last 16 of the World Cup, plenty of the build-up has been dominated by the altitude and the raucous atmosphere that the Three Lions will encounter. Well, this is the first time that England will take on to the Azteca Stadium in Mexico City since the infamous game against Argentina in the 1986 World Cup. Argentina won that game after a double from Diego Maradona, including the controversial Hand of God goal. Well, I'm now joined by the England goalkeeper who played in that game, Peter Shilton, CB. Peter Shilton, thank you so much for joining. It's a pleasure to have you on the programme. Very few people know, as well as you do, what it's like to play in that stadium with an England shirt on. So what do the England players need to be prepared for?
Well, the atmosphere, it's obviously Mexico playing at home. The majority of the fans will be for Mexico, although we've had brilliant support, England. And also the conditions, we're not quite sure, about the conditions, but certainly the altitude is one that they will have to be prepared for, although they haven't really prepared for it. When we played in Mexico in '86, we'd been a month away actually getting ready for the altitude. So all those things will be against England.
So they obviously haven't had that month away that you say you had to prepare for the altitude. So what kind of impact could it have on the way they play?
Well, I'm not quite sure at the moment. It could be something that later on in the game they may really tire. I think that's probably the only thing that we're going to be looking for. Mentally they're probably going to say to themselves, look, we've got to overcome it, so let's just give it our best. But we'll have to wait and see on that.
Of course, you played at the Azteca back in 1986. What do you remember of the impact that the altitude had on your performance then? How you felt?
Yeah, well, the one thing about being a goalkeeper is that I learned that the ball moves a lot faster through the air. For example, a shot from 30 yards is like a shot, say, from 20 yards normally. And that is something, obviously, you've got to adjust to as a goalkeeper. Players have obviously got to adjust to, how hard they hit passes, and certainly long passes. So, that's just an added thing that England players have got to come to terms with.
So are you saying that the impact of the altitude would be more on the goalkeeper? Because, of course, especially if England goes to penalties, that's something that would have a huge impact on the result.
Well, not so much on penalties, of course, because it's a 12-yard shot, but they're difficult enough to save anyway. But, I'm talking more about long passes and long-distance shots that goalkeepers have got to be prepared for, probably a bit more than they normally would in normal conditions.
The 1986 game at the Azteca Stadium, correct me if I'm wrong, it's the last time that England actually played there. Now at the time you played Argentina, so not the home nation, which I guess makes a difference, but an incredibly memorable game nonetheless. What do you remember of it, and how does that memory inform what you think of tonight's game?
Well, it was memorable for all the wrong reasons, really. We obviously conceded a goal, which it's been known as the Hand of God by Diego Maradona, and I've had a beef with that situation for ever since. It's 40 years now since that happened, and my beef was really because I think we could have won it. We were just coming into form, and of course Maradona, got away with that, and the second goal, it was great by him, but before he got the ball, one of our players was fouled, and if we'd have had VAR, both goals wouldn't have stood. So all those things went against us, really, and I put the beef to bed recently because Lynx have brought out a mascot sort of with a big hand, and it was a light-hearted way, I think, of putting it to bed a little bit. Argentinian people have been great to me. I met some of the players at a documentary not so long back. So I think probably it is time to put it to bed.
You said that game is remembered for all the wrong reasons, of course. How do you think tonight's match might sit within the long narrative of England matches at Azteca?
Well, I'm hoping we're going to get a great result and have a little bit of, you know, revenge to the Azteca Stadium. It's as I said earlier, it's not going to be easy. There's quite a few things against us, but it would be great if we could lay the ghost of the Aztec Stadium. It is a great place to play. I've got to say that I've played in it 2 or 3 times, and not just in '86. And it is a terrific stadium to play in. So let's hope that from an England's point of view, really gets the lads going, and we get a great result.
There's a lot of challenges that the England players are going to have to face. The altitude, of course, the weather. We've seen terrible weather. There was talk of changing the time. The fact that they're playing Mexico in Mexico. What advice would you give the England players about how to prepare psychologically for this game?
Well, first of all, we're quite used to rain in England. So if it does rain, that's probably on our side, really, because obviously it won't be quite as hot as it normally would be. Yeah, I would just say, look, the past is the past. Get yourself psyched up. You've got a great chance to get into the quarterfinals. Go out there and give it the best you can. I mean, our captain and main player, Harry Kane is right on form, so that's a great thing for England. Try and give him the ball as much as you can in the penalty box, but keep it tight. Don't let the crowd get to you, the fervour, and keep calm and get put on a great performance.
From what you've seen of how England have been playing, are you optimistic about their chances?
I think we can improve a lot. Let's put it like that. I don't think the best has come from us yet, although the last game, everybody, Harry Kane's second goal brought everybody to life. I don't think we've played our best yet. And sometimes that's good. Let's save the best till last, and hopefully we'll produce a better performance tonight. I think we've got to, because it's going to be tough against Mexico, but improve our performance and our level of performance, and go and really enjoy the game.
And are you going to be staying up till 1 a.m. to watch it?
Oh yes, definitely. I wouldn't miss it for the world, really. I'll probably have a little nap later on tonight, but no, I'll definitely be staying up, and I think most of, all of England will be as well.
I bet. Peter Shilton, CB, former England goalkeeper. Sir, thank you so much. It's been a pleasure to talk to you. Thank you.
Nice to speak to you.